Tonight, Jeremiah James Korfe takes the stage at Summertime by George. We're joined by Jeremiah himself, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your band?
It's been a long road. I spent a lot of time out in LA for 8 years and did the Warped Tour and things out there in the rock world for a while, and then ended up going back to my roots back in 2011 and started writing country music, and been down in Nashville ever since, and spent a lot of time back up at the farm in Minnesota. And I use local musicians kind of around the area when I'm playing up in the 7-state area, I suppose, up north, and then I use a different crew down in Nashville and a different crew out on the West Coast for now. But yeah, hopefully keep the ball moving enough where I can have a full-time crew and, doing the whole deal full-time with the same fellas would be the perfect way to do it. But for now, it's working out just fine. So it's a mix of, country and rock.
Now, you were here earlier this month at Joetown Rocks. I was there. It sounded great. Will it be the same crew at Summertime by George?
Yep, the same guys I'll use for that show. I'm excited. Last year, it was this huge competition out in Sturgis for the Buffalo Chip to play with ZZ Top and Florida Georgia Line, and I won that competition, and I got to use the guys from Minnesota because obviously they're the closest. And it's fun because they're a fun group of fellas from the Sauk Center area, and they play in a cover band called Contention around the area. So it's nice. I get to use a band that's been together for a while, and they love playing music with me, and I enjoy hanging out with them. So it's fun to be able to see the guys when I'm back up and have a little fun.
You mentioned winning the Buffalo Chip out at Sturgis. What was it like being able to play with Florida Georgia Line and ZZ Top after that?
What's weird is back in 2006, I played with ZZ Top out at the California Speedway when I was doing the rock music. So it was kind of fun to be able to see the guys again and play a complete different genre of music, while where they've been the same forever, and they're, obviously the staple when it comes to garage rock. They're just ZZ Top, and Florida Georgia Line, they got a ton of number ones right now, so that's always a plus to meet people in the same industry as you that are just, curving the edge and definitely taking it by storm. So it was a good time. There was a great turnout, and everybody was obviously super energetic when it comes to big bands like that. So you really don't have to work that hard when you're on stage. You just show up and do what you love to do, and everybody responds pretty good about it.
Getting to some of your music, last February you came out with your latest single, Work. Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, I recorded that song at Jay DeMarcus Studios. He's the bass player for Rascal Flatts. Played there, used a few of their musicians, and a fellow named Tyler Kane, he produced that for me. He's a pretty legendary guitarist out of Nashville. Has played with everybody, really, toured with all the big acts, and so got me in that studio, and we went through the songs, and I did a few down in that Jay's place there. And this song's more of it's just like your summertime rock and country about a girl, just a fun little rock and love song. And my fiddle player, Ashley Brown, she's from actually the Longville, Upsala area, and I've been playing with her now since 2012, and she's the only one that I pretty much try to keep with me wherever I go because she's just that talented. So she came down to Nashville, laid the fiddle tracks for me on that song, and I used some, like I said, great musicians on it. And so, yeah, it's just a fun song. I'm excited to play it. It's one of my favorite ones to do in the set list, that's for sure.
Now, you also have a new album coming out this year, is that right?
Still being worked on. I was hoping to have it out in the beginning of July, but there's one more song I'm going to put on it, and then there's one song that I'm redoing before we release it, just because it's great, but it could be a definite single, so I want to make sure all the ends are tied up right on it, you know what I mean?
So at the concert tonight, are we going to hear the single Work or anything from the new album?
Yeah, what's going to be fun is, getting a 2-hour set. When you get a set that long, typically, when you're out on tour with other acts opening, you get an hour and a half, and you really just put in the songs real quick that you want to put out there, the fun, high, energetic ones. But what's a 2-hour set is you can take a moment to break it down a little bit halfway through and play the ones that really inspired you when you first started and connect with the crowd a little bit more on a few of them. And I'll pull out some songs that I haven't done in quite a few years, some of my first ones that I did, and then all my new singles and a bunch that's going to be on the new album I'll pull out. So, and I do a lot of mashups of country songs put together with a little rock hooks in it, and try to give everybody a little something that they enjoy.
Thanks, Jeremiah. He will be taking the stage at 6:30 tonight. Summertime by George will be kicked off by Todd Hurst and his band, the Whiskey 3, starting at 5 o'clock. Joshua Ackerman, WJON.